If you asked me to mash up a pair of genres to make a hit indie game, the top of my list would probably say roguelite and probably strategy or RPG, but thanks to Flight School Studio, it seems I need to add Pinball to that list. They, of course, are the developers of Creature in the Well, a game that mixes hack-and-slash action with pinball mechanics and creates a unique experience. The game is a wonderful combination of artsy and action-packed, and from the moment the game starts in a raging dust storm to the very end, Creature in the Well manages to stay mysterious and stylish the whole way through. Whether you're exploring one of the many dungeons or checking out the sand-ravaged town of Mirage, there's always a hidden secret to reward your exploration. Additionally, the game is rendered in a gorgeous, flat, cartoonish style reminiscent of Hellboy the comic, which is why it's unsurprising to hear that the artist was inspired by Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy. In addition to being a treat to look at, the game controls well too. Players are tasked with restoring power to the game's dungeons, which require them to surpass rooms full of pinball bumper puzzles, and each dungeon culminates in a boss encounter. And this should surprise nobody who's familiar with pinball games, but when you find a room with several bumpers and you hit a sweet spot, it's nice to hear your power orbs rapidly racking up energy. The game isn't all sunshine and rainbows though, because despite the unique concept, I had a few complaints. My smallest issues were with the camera. First, as you run from room to room in the dungeons, the camera will occasionally rotate to better view the upcoming chamber. This occasionally makes dungeon maps a little hard to discern, and I always had to double check to make sure I was heading the right way. A slightly bigger issue was because of the viewing angle. The game is viewed from a top-down perspective, but it's not directly from above. The slight angle makes it difficult to line up some precision shots and created a few headaches. Nothing major, but it was something that didn't really need to be a problem, and adding the ability to change the angle would have made the game a little less frustrating. Another issue I had with Creature in the Well was that despite the dungeons and the game overall having a beautiful art style, the dungeons were all a little too similar. They're all meant to be part of a larger machine, so I understand a similar aesthetic, but besides the color swap and the occasional puzzle gimmick, there really was very little to separate the dungeons from each other. I even saw the exact same room used several times. It has an entrance on one side, and there's several rows of long horizontal bumpers taking up 2/3 of the room. I was surprised to find a door on the other side of the room once, but for the most part, it feels like they're just copy and pasting the rooms. Again, I understand that it's part of a larger machine, but it just feels a little sloppy. I think that leaning more heavily into the unique visual style for each dungeon would have gone a long way, especially since each dungeon is supposed to be a unique part of the machine. My biggest and final knock against Creature in the Well was the story. The mystery of what happened to Mirage is relayed in post-boss computer terminals that explain a bit of the history of the town, the machine, and the creature, but ultimately I was left disappointed. I'm not sure if Flight School Studio is leaving something for DLC or a sequel, but I wanted more from the game's ending. But despite these perceived flaws, I truly enjoyed my time with Creature in the Well, and I really can't wait to see what Flight School Studios does next. I did receive a review code for full disclosure, but the game costs $14.99 on Steam, Switch, and on Xbox, and it is part of the Xbox Game Pass. So if you already have that, then it's basically a free download. I hope you guys enjoy the game and this video especially. If you do, please hit the like button and subscribe because I'll be doing more of these videos in the future. Thanks for watching and have a great day.